Affinity Xtra, be extra.
Yeah, people. This is Roger Moore and Affinity Xtra, celebrating gospel music of Black origin, and I am bringing it back. I'm going to sit back, relax. I'm going to throw loads of questions over to my colleague who's got it. I'm going to call him Blue. He's also AKA. He's got a number of AKAs out there still.
Bag of AKAs, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm saying got a few of them. Gun. Yeah, man. So he's just come from tour. He's been touring around.
I wish he was a tour.
he's been making people laugh. He's been singing. He's been doing photography. Actually, he's thinking, yeah, you're right. Actually,
I have. Yeah, I just said that. I was like, right, I've been doing a bit too much.
Yeah. So he thinks I ain't been watching him still. You know what I'm saying? It's the problem when people post up on their statuses. You know,
mind on the business.
Yeah, yeah. Well, stop putting status up there.
Yes. I have to.
So between him and his brother, I'm fighting. How many statuses you guys put up?
I don't know. I think right minimum I probably put about 3 or 4 a day.
No, he's worse though.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. JB's worse, man.
I don't know. He's getting there. He's getting there.
No, he's terrible. Well, I know exactly what he does.
Yeah. He's every second he is.
You know what I'm saying? You know what? You know what he sang. You know what? You know his whole set by the end.
You know the team.
Listen, man.
He's got the Southeast. Then if he's with the kids playing.
Listen, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know if he's in coaching mode or if he's in singing mode,
man.
And performing arts and who's he doing. You know, he releases before the main video. You know what I mean? So big up to JB there all day, every day still, you know what I mean? I'm ready to do that fitness journey with you, bro. Come. I'm ready for you, bro.
I'm not about to do that fitness. I've decided that I'm not bothering no more.
It's a new year's, man. You are, man. We're going to get back in, get you back.
You know what? I'm 15 years married. It's too expensive to try and leave each other anyway. So it is as it is. Like, just eat the greens and live life good. But I'm not trying. There was a time in my life I wanted to get 6-pack.
Oh, okay.
And buff. I thought I'm going to get the 6-pack at least once in my life. I'm going to give it a try. And so I gave it 3 weeks and I didn't enjoy it. And then I thought, I ain't doing this stuff because like it's just too much science and maths in between it. Like you got to eat so much carbs, so much proteins, and you have to weigh this, then you have to cook. I'm like, listen, I just want a simple life. Like, I'm just gonna eat good.
Yo, you know, guys, man, with me, I do not earn it before. It's a myth that Roger trains every day because everyone thinks I do. I'm looking at my socials. Yeah.
No, but if you look at the steps that you have to walk to get to the studio, you do work out every day. Like, listen, if anything, if I came here every day, the top half wouldn't be amazing, but my glutes would be on form.
Right, people, I won't turn around to have a look. But anyway, still, yeah, but. So that's for the video people. Yeah, just keep on it, guys. But when you're 16 years old, looking at the McDonald's and say, yeah, I'm gonna tear it through. Just think about what you're tearing through later.
Yeah.
Like, I unfortunately don't have to worry about what I eat like that, but I have cut back a bit still compared to what I used to eat, and I eat just differently. We all do the same thing, you know what I mean? We stop eating madness at night. You know, when you're younger, you just have a pizza at 1 minute past midnight, and you're thinking, them days are over for me, bro.
10 push-ups and it gets rid of it.
Yeah, bro. Listen, man. You obviously don't want to get myself into any more trouble. I just try and keep it even and just keep it moving, man, and enjoy health is wealth, man. And you know, that's the main thing. And I think that, you know, I said to somebody the other day, bro. I said to them, listen, your physical health is connected to your mental well-being, and when you're not feeling well, or you are sick, your well-being is affected.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You know, that's why you have moody sick people. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you're sick, very few people can smile and be sick. Yeah, and it is connected, and when you have a disability, it is connected. You know what I'm saying? And that's something we need to consider, and even consider in relationships, because you know, when a partner's sick, I know people have left their partner because they're not what they expected. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know, I spoke to somebody, and the reason why I'm going is for you guys, because you know, Blue is into the relationship thing. So
love that talk.
You know what I'm saying? So he loves that talk. I remember my friend said to me, he was saying to me, he said, listen, he left his girl. I said, why did he go? He said he can see himself because he's a fitness, he's a fitness freak, and he said that, yo, she ain't looking after herself, so I ain't about her looking after her later in life.
Yeah.
I was there, and I thought, ooh. And I was like,
Because you get into it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, but the thing is, like I said, he's with somebody now. You know what I'm saying? He's not a Christian person.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, man, are going like that, like, and you know what? When you listen to a lot of the bail coaches out there, you know what I mean? They are hinting, you know what I mean, for man to stand up and start accepting.
Yeah.
Stand up on business. That's what they be saying. Was that?
You know what though? And this is controversial. This is controversial because I remember having this. I remember saying something similar to this quite a while back, and I was like, "Oh." And you know what? If you know me, ladies, I don't even care. I'm just gonna say it as it is. I think when it comes to relationships, I mean that brother there, that's a different conversation.
Okay.
I think when you come into a conversation, I mean a relationship,
go on.
Both equal have responsibilities. As we already know, and that responsibility is on for yourself, but also for your partner.
Okay.
Now, I was looking at a post a couple of weeks back with a lady who said she's just been divorced because she's put on a lot of weight since childbirth, and she's a lot heavier than she was before. And her husband says that he doesn't find her as attractive anymore. He's struggled, he's tried, and so they've separated. Now, at first, I was like, "Oh, that's bad," because we know that for a lot of women after childbirth, it's difficult to get the body back into that position.
Yeah.
However,
There's a
however, and ladies don't come for me, but
oh boy,
yeah, if you ain't doing nothing though, like so after childbirth, and if the family's looking after the children, but you're not trying to eat healthy, you're not trying to work out, you're not trying to get back into shape or in a shape that you're comfortable with. We get your body's going through changes, and even for guys as well, you're going through changes. But if you're doing nothing to kind of rectify, because there's got to be a point where you look at yourself and think, man, I'm putting on the pounds, like my body isn't looking the same, it's not feeling the same, it's sluggish, but you still continue to do the same kind of things, then there's a consequence. Now, the consequence shouldn't be that they're leaving, but the consequence should be health issues, limb issues.
Yeah.
Down the road, there's going to be issues where potentially the partner is going to have to pick up the slack and be like, well, you know what, if you just looked after yourself earlier, we probably wouldn't be here. And that's for both people as well, because there's some guys out there that think, fish and chips is a staple diet and it's okay, but then you're not working out, like you're drinking at the pub and blah, 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 you're not doing nothing for yourself. So I'm saying it's on both people, but for scenarios where people are moaning about their relationships and you're doing nothing, like I heard a saying from a woman today when she said, what you don't sort out, you accept. So if you're moaning about it, but you're doing nothing about it, then you accept it. So therefore, you shouldn't complain.
Wow, these guys are brutal these days.
It's brutal, but you know what? I stand by it. It's true.
No, this is brutal. Like for me, okay, right. So for me, it's different before you go into marriage. Yeah, for me, your perspective of okay, I'm gonna leave this relationship because of this, that.
Yeah.
But once you sign that contract. Yeah, you know what I mean? There's a lot of eventualities that you have to absorb for better and for worse. You know what I'm saying? Physically, mentally, spiritually, well-being wise, financially, you have to, whether people like it or not. You know what I mean? And the problem is that, I saw a generation, whether they were Christian or non-Christian, stand up in business. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to that contract, and it's sad to say that there's some things that I wouldn't even agree that how did you stay in that relationship, abusive relationships, you know what I mean, to the stages of brutal, we keep quiet about it, but there were some brutal relationships that people stayed together for their children, stayed together for the grandchildren, for the family legacy, and then, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. People might feel, oh, you can't, yes, I am saying this, you know what I'm saying, because we saw that, and then we've seen the other extremes, because of that trauma, we've seen the other extremes. Now things are a bit more freer. It's not just about women, but men are like going, nah, I'm gone. You know what I mean? I'm gonna find my perfect helpmate, and I'm like, we go from one extreme to another, which is quite toxic.
It's true. No, it's true.
You know what I'm saying? It's quite very toxic, and it's like, are you? But yeah, it's toxic, man. It's toxic out here, bro. Because like, in men's circles, all right. You're struggling in a relationship. Your wife's talking or divorce, man, talk around you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Guys, I'm just talking from a man.
Yeah.
Because we always hear about women being, my man cheated on me and I'm divorcing him. We hear about it. We hear that. Yeah, that seems to be the only way that people get divorced, because the man you know what I mean, he messed about with a sister in church, or he was unwell doing his thing or whatever. Yeah. But you know what I mean, saying, want to divorce it, whatever. But the thing is, it's like, where do we get to talk about this? The only time we talk about this is
when they're going through the dramas.
After the divorce, bro.
Yeah, it's true. And you know what?
After the divorce is when it really first comes out, and the brothers go, hold on a second, because I always say to people, when people are going seeing the divorce is just a story that you found out. Because me and Blue are married still.
Not together.
You know what I'm saying? That
sometimes you have to educate.
Oh yeah. Sorry. So I was like, what you on about, bro? What is this? My mind's not even there, Or Blue's a bit sharper than me, man. You know what I'm saying? Different generation, I don't want there still. But like, we kind of like, we have the same stories.
Yeah.
There's nothing different, bro. You know what I'm saying? We've just, that's a dodged, but we just not divorced. And so people kind of belittle our input into their lives as a man, and they belittle our input as men in our community.
Yeah.
Because they says the only way you can talk is if you've experienced a breakup. No, I can talk because I've experienced a marriage. I've been married. You've been married how many years now?
15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
I got married in 98, people, so you can work.
Yeah, you did the maths, man. Done.
I was married in the 90s, man.
OG of marriage.
You know what I'm saying? So, and the thing is, we've seen it all. We've almost seen it all. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, it's like, how do we express to our brothers, who's going through it? We're seeing it. This is what to do. It might not be even successful, but at least I know. But I'm not the first.
Yeah, I think the truth is, and like you said, like marriage is work. Like, I don't think we do enough conversations in church or just society where we talk about the complexities and the responsibilities of marriage. Marriage is work by itself with just a man and a woman.
But the thing is,
sprinkle some kids in there.
I'll disagree slightly with you there. Still. Yeah. In the world, they have a lot of talk about relationships. Yeah. And that's their marriage. Our relationship, which referring to is marriage because of our religious beliefs, allows us to go that far. But they're going that far before in a relationships. So how, because we say, we're not meant to do this, meant to do that. Until you get married and not meant to live together and all this business. They're all talking about relationships. A lot outside, you know what I mean? So I feel that the space where we're not dealing with relationships as we should be dealing with relationships. I'm not saying that what they're saying is correct out there. What I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying? It's not about correct who's right or wrong, but they talk about it. We don't. So what happens is their chat filters into our life. So now, behavior of our men and women in church is so similar to the behaviors outside, because the only people that's talking about the man and woman or whatever relationship out there are people out in the world. So they are talking about business, but we're not.
And I think there's a sense as well where when the world talks about relationships, there's almost that kind of like thought from a Christian perspective that you're missing out on something. So the way that the world talks about relationships then makes it look like it's fun, exciting, and that we don't live to that level of standard. But I ain't gonna lie to you though. When I look at the world talking about relationship stuff, then I get frightened by hearing it, because and when I say frightened by it, it's smoke and mirrors, and that's why I say I don't think we need to talk about it enough. Because when I hear podcasters and other relationship people talking about relationships, most of them haven't made them a commitment to marriage. So they're just talking from boyfriend, girlfriend perspective. So you haven't even demonstrated to me for some of these conversations that there's a real in-depth commitment. And some people say, just because I'm a boyfriend and girlfriend doesn't mean not committed. To me, anyway, to my standard, it does. Like, if your marriage is probably the next level of a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship of saying, we're committed to having this life. Now, I heard some people say before, is marriage old-fashioned? Like, it worked back in the day. It had its place. But now, do we need to be married? Like, why? Like, we're not governed by them same set of rules. And I personally believe you do. Because some people are like, what do I benefit from getting out of a boyfriend or girlfriend that I wouldn't get from I get from a marriage? And there's so much that I'm not about to go into just yet. We'll save that for a bit later. But when I talk about the world talking about relationships, a lot of it, if you look at it, is always the sexual aspect of it. And that's one of the scary things that I always worry about. It's always about the sex in it. Like, you're not always going to be 20 or 19 in your relationship. At some point, things are going to start hurting. Your back's going to start hurting. You ain't going to be the whole, king dingle. You can't be doing them things all that time. And also, as you're getting older, there's different health issues as well. And I've seen a lot of people in relationships whose health have impacted them, where it's not about a sexual need, it's not about physical need, it's about companionship, it's about support, it's about being there. And these are things that you learn from that relationship of committed, supporting and being there. The world doesn't talk about that stuff. The world talks about showing up and looking good, making sure that person feels nice. So it's about individual value, not group commitment.
But the world is, I'm not getting my business. I'm not getting what I need. So I need to get out and get what I need.
Which is mad. And the worst thing is, statistically as well,
sometimes I hear that every day, bro. Every YouTube video, bro. Every YouTube is about, I want. Go on, what's that? So
statistically, and I've always heard this, and I've always been like, wow, that's crazy. So the Gen Zs and the other ones before they come anyway, statistically, millennials, statistically, they're being less sexual than our generation, which is true because, like, when you look at our generation and before them, that we were like one of 27. Like, we had like bag of siblings.
Yeah,
you don't get that now. Most women nowadays in society are having children in their 30s.
Yeah, true.
And then consider having children mid-30s.
Well, yeah, true.
You know what I mean? So it's crazy. Most people now, millennials, are getting married within their late 30s or late 20s. So whereas we got married young. We got married in our 20s. Yeah, these guys are not getting married in that age now. And when they are getting married, the first issue that they're getting now in their relationship is debt, because if you look at some of these weddings that they're having on there, they're trying to go for Golden Globes or Mobo Awards. Like, the weddings I've seen on there are outrageous. Like,
bro, listen,
the brothers wearing shoes with no socks.
Bro, listen, they got dance routines, all of them things, bro. Like, I'm going, yo, man, you guys got choreographers. They're on it, man. It looks good in the show, but I'm like, yo.
Do you think it looks good?
No, it looks good. I'm thinking, yo, Bedrin, you're baked beans on toast for the next year, bro.
I look at some of these weddings and I'm like, that's rubbish, man. And I'm not saying because I'm hating or anything like that. I'm just a practical guy. I'm just like, man, in about a year to 2 years' time, like 6 months after your wedding, you'll be like, that wedding was banging. That was an amazing wedding. And then when you're going through it, that video ain't gonna tell you nothing. Like, I saw a simple wedding video the other day from some guys in some American state. I don't know where it is. And the guy was giving his vows, but then he switched it up and he said, listen, our wedding's being recorded, so I want to say this to you now, so that when we look back at this video, I lived to this moment and I lived to these words. And my man was just like declaring, like, I am going to commit to you even when, and this is my words, not his words, all right? Even when you look drag up, even when your face ain't there, even when you can't put the work in to look amazing, even when health kicks in, even when you're broke, like, this is the video and the moment for me that tells me I married you on these values and these reasons. And when it's hard, I need to watch this video too to remind myself why I married you, so that we get through it. I was like, yo, this ain't gonna get played like all them.
No. That's not getting no play.
They ain't getting no play, man.
And the thing is, that scene, when he's going through, and he go when you're going through, because when you're married for a decade, trust me, you go through something. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And let alone like 2 decades. You know what I mean? You're definitely going through, and let alone two and a half like me. Plus, you know what I'm saying? You've seen stuff. But like something that really hit to me is that basically what I find from social spaces is that the weak man, that's seen as weakness.
Yeah.
That what he said there, it sounds strong how you said it.
Yeah.
But that's lame and weak. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, you know, well, she needs to step on up. She needs to, because I'm doing this. You know what I mean? So I'm doing this, so she has to do this. It's very transactional, you know, and it seems like, you know, this is all that you don't want to be a simp. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that phrase, don't want to be a simp, man, because they said that, you know, simps don't, you know, nice. Is it nice guys don't win?
They have the money though.
Nice guys don't have no money.
I think nice guys do have money. I think we got over the bad boy stage now. Then bad boys are good for prison. And
no, I'm not talking about bad boys in terms of road youths.
Talking about nice guys in terms of like force.
Like what's seen as nice is the guy who takes responsibility. Maybe the lady had a child beforehand or 2 sons before, and he takes up that because that's another big conversation now. Is you know, you're trying to get married now to somebody, and because they're getting married later, they might have a son or a daughter from it. And, you know, they said, yo, if you got a son and daughter or you got a child before, I'm not about that, man. And they've seen the men who take up that responsibility of another man's child, like this. Yo, you're weak, bloody. You're
you know what? I salute to guys that can. I've got a bunch of friends.
I see you smiling. You
nah, you know what?
So what's what? Because the thing is,
don't ask me what my thoughts are.
No, on the real, like when I was now bear in mind, guys, you know, I wasn't like, you know, I got married when I met my wife when I was 19. Yeah, so, but even then, bro, before I met my wife, I actually was already open because of the girls that I don't know, sorry sisters at my age, but you guys were having children and, you know what I mean, and getting that free flat. You know what I'm saying?
That was the price.
But bro, listen, so they were getting, like, I know friends of girls, they had children like when they were 16 and getting a flat, man. You know what I mean?
You know what, that was the conversation of the 90s though, because I remember hearing women tout over women. Have a child, and you get a flat so you can move out. I remember hearing a girl saying, and they didn't realise the word back then properly, like trap him, and then get a yard. And I was like, oh, is that what it is then? Like,
bro, listen, I remember at college, man, some guy said to me, the guy joking, you know, I know his daddy's right, his dad's quite famous, but I don't like sports. You know what I'm saying? But he goes to me, yeah, right, so, yeah. And he goes, like, right. I said, nah, I'm not. Yeah, it is what it is. Bro, 3 months later, she had a belly out, and I'm thinking, huh? Like that. And the thing is, she was like, really nice person, but I'm like, yo, are you really? And she was only 16 at the time, you know what I mean?
Free,
and you know what I'm saying? You know, and it's just like, yo, like, so in my mind, I was like, back then, going, at this rate, you know what I mean? If I want a sister, she's more likely, and it's not sorry sisters, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because I was looking for a sister anyway, so everybody knows I'm my sister, you know what I'm saying? You know, even though I was grew up in a non-sister area, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, I want a sister after watching Malcolm X. But you know what I'm saying? So for me now still, it's like, okay, most of my sisters, because of my experience with sisters, because I went to a white school, you know what I'm saying, in college, was getting pregnant and then getting a flat, you know what I'm saying? So like, in my mind has already said, okay, might have to deal with that scenario. Okay, I'll have to deal with it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, but like when I'm hearing these brothers now, looking back then, yo, bro, they weren't standing for it, bro. They're like, you're dumb enough to get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? That's on you. And I ain't gonna be dealing with with Jamal's son. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So or daughter. So, yo. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things that are licking our spaces, bro, are touching into our young men. This is what our young men are watching and understanding. This is why I'm passionate about having these conversations online in front of people, because it's people hearing our thought process to it, because it helps me process as well, because you know, sometimes guys, you know, we are isolated, especially in our church spaces, because majority of times we are the only man in our church, even if there's 100 people there of that generation who may be going through that, and that's because the law of averages is that men don't want to come in our spaces.
No, at all. I think there's always going to be more women in the church than men. And back in the day, you see, so you gotta be careful I say, you know. Back in the day,
every time we go, we think it twice before we say things, you know.
Like,
we don't get cancelled by our community, you know.
And I don't want it to sound like, I mean, I've not heard it so much now, But I know when we were growing up, one of the things I was told was avoid church girls because they're worse than the girls out on the road. So, and I
hear that today.
I try to have the conversations like oh Jesus, but no, I remember. So for me personally, I remember I broke up with a lady from church, and when I met my wife, she wasn't even going to church. She just started visiting, and so I was cool because I was like, I don't want a church girl. Like I remember saying to God, I ain't having none of your daughters again, blood. Like your daughters are wild. And then I met my missus, and she visited church, and I was cool because she was visiting. Now, when you grow up in church, you know the difference between someone staying and someone visiting. Like, you're only passing through. So maybe, you know, this is a girl who's going to be worldly and will live. But then she became a Christian, and then she stayed. Yeah. And a little bit of me was resentful, like, you staying for? But we're still married together. Things have worked out. But it was the whole mentality of church women at the time where there's this expectation. I think that's what it was. I think because we go to church, and we all hear kind of like the expectation, the rules, the vibe, you kind of think, okay, we're going to live by that then. But then when they're not living to that expectation, to that level, then you kind of like vex and be like, I don't want nothing to do with you. And that's not to say all the women were wild, because enough church man them are worse, just as bad. Like I know some brothers that were wild as well. But the musicians, you guys need to repent.
We got a drummer boy with the plats. I'm saying.
And the bass player mainly.
Oh, come on, I'm a bass player, man. You know what I'm saying?
Holding more than just the bass.
You know what I'm saying?
Anyway,
but no, I do think still, even when you're saying that, I did feel that the church wasn't the space directly. At the time, I only have to give at the time, and sometimes this is what I'm hitting back at church girls. You don't realize that you weren't your attitude, what you really were about. You know what I mean? I didn't really was looking for like a proper like church, you know, like church girl, bro, because of the rep was low, bro. Like you know, when I met my wife, I wasn't really looking. You know, she laugh, man, because I said a certain type of church she's going to. Don't want to expose it out, man. But I remember just in concerts I would go to, yo, them girls thought they were stush, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? But they were like, you know, I know man there said, yo, I'm road, no. Them. How you know her? Well, you know, I know. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, as I get older, guys, and it's something that I was disappointed to find out, you know, as somebody, you know, myself personally, you know, I kept to 100 and, you know, stayed focused, you know, when it came to relationship, what really disappointed me was that we all gave that mantra to our parents that, oh, we're good kids and we do not be misbehaving yourself and this and whatever. But when you get older in life, you then start the stories that, oh, they weren't behaving. And a lot of the youth groups that were looking down at people outside the church was doing worse than what out there. I don't mind if man's humble, but we had that superior complex. You know, when somebody came from so he had a visitor who was young, and everybody look at him and go, what you doing around here? Look like, what are you doing here? You know what I'm saying? They'll look down at them and says, oh, you in our space now. You know what I mean? And it's like, hold on a second, you are just as bad as that person. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, so we did look down at people out there, but we were doing it as bad and mad as what they were doing out there as well. You know what I'm saying? So
just learn how to hide it better.
Bro, listen, man.
Even to this day,
I think social media is just.
I think social media has just changed the playing field. I think the problem with social media, it's been more of a light. In regards to just exposing everybody's business,
lifestyle,
and most people fall for enough to put stuff up there and not manage their trail. So people are seeing, like, I know.
I just think leadership. I think leadership is just stupid these days. You know, say, bro, if you had, you put up a status, use that with Coco. Yeah, you're laughing, you know, and you put a status up, and you think you're gonna be preaching next Sunday. You know what I'm saying? And then pastor saw that. He'll be like, nah. But these days, pastor seeing that, and he still can go upstairs and still there and preach.
Yeah, I remember seeing man's like Rat and Parrot. I was playing praise and worship the next day. For those that don't know Rat and Parrot, it's an old school club.
Yeah, man. I don't know because
you know Rat and Parrot,
bro. I never been into a club.
Is it? You know what? I went clubbing when I was younger.
I didn't.
I wouldn't do it now because I'm ready to go to bed at 9:30. Like, don't text me after 9 o'clock and don't call me at 10 because I'm done. And that's what time the party start. But yeah, I remember kind of going clubbing back in the day, and and then go in church the next day.
Confession, you know.
Yeah, rags, like, you know, it's gone now. But you know what though, and I think for me, here's the bad thing. Yeah, here's the bad thing where people might be like, let me switch off this podcast now. I didn't feel bad about it. You know, some people feel like really bad, like, oh, they went to the club, they went to church the next day, and people should be repentant and blah, blah, blah. I can honestly sit down here now and say, well, I didn't feel bad because I didn't do nothing bad anyway. Like, I was in there having a good time, dancing to music, R&B, and if at the time when I was single, it was fun to go and chat ladies up with no intention of going anywhere with it, but it was fun to have that conversation. Like, flirting was fun.
Sharpening tools.
It was sharpening tools so my wife gets the benefit from it, but back then it was kind of because you know what, that's and not you.
Why did I say that?
But there were some guys in church whose relationship game was dry. Like, you're trying to chat up a girl and you're talking about, I want a Proverbs woman, and she ain't got.
That wasn't me, by the way.
Yeah, that was Roger.
But the thing is, I am
be honest, man. Some of the guys, their talk was whack, and having gone past Genesis, and like, we talking about Proverbs woman, like, that's a wife, that's a high standard. There's expectations of a guy before you get there, and some guys from church, I think their experience was whack because their experience in terms of those that were teaching them was just as whack. Like, some of these guys look like they were married from the womb. So therefore, they wasn't able to impart, here's how you talk to ladies. All my skills of learning to talk to ladies came from roadman outside of church, because my dad never taught me how to do it. My uncles didn't show me how to do it. It was
but they were doing
the older men. They were doing it, but the older mans off road were the ones that having that conversation. You know what I mean? Light up that ego. Like, is that you, blood? Yeah. We never got that, man.
Yeah, I do remember. Like, even when I was playing for a football team, a black football team. I always played with majority black football teams from since I was 17, and it's their life, their road life. As much as I never lived it, I understood institute. Even though I never went institute. You know what I'm saying? I live. What did they say? I don't live the experience. I live it through. So somebody else will live it. You know what I'm saying? So I get to understanding that. I don't want to be getting drunk. I don't want to be going out there. I don't want baby mother dramas, man, because I don't have it for myself. But I understand that. Blue did it. I didn't work for him. I don't want we working for. So I was hearing about the Gunchester when they were coming down to Birmingham, shooting up things at drum and bass raves and stuff like that. Still, so I don't understand it through living with somebody else, but that's quite interesting. And what you're saying, it really concerning. It really gives a persona that we really don't talk about the game. You know what I'm saying? Why does it call it the game for? You know what I'm saying? But if it's the game, I know why it's a game. But it's blowing up now. It's and the algorithms are getting knocked out to my Netflix. My Netflix only it doesn't just barely. But now and again, these fool stuck in an island relationship, bro. Like, especially the one where I hit from a missus. There's one where you can't touch, you get points knocked off for touching somebody.
You know what it is? So, because I remember listening to, there's a program I liked on Netflix called Love is Blind. I do like it. I ain't gonna lie. But I hate, what's that called? Love Island. Hate them programs. But you know what's interesting? Because I was like,
that's a good point, that's a good point, because you're into a relationship thing, man. I don't even entertain that.
You know what? I entertain it because I enjoy the science behind it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So all these programs are done from a scientific perspective of it's possible to like somebody without seeing them. It's possible to like somebody beyond attraction. It's possible to do A, B, and C. And then when you kind of bring it to biblical perspective, what you're realizing is that we're being very much controlled or taught about the carnal way of looking at somebody versus the spiritual aspect and holistic aspect we get from the spiritual aspect of being with somebody. So for instance, and I don't want to get too churchy on this one, but if you will follow things like Love Island, stuff like that, it's going to teach you that you can find a connection through mutual respect and mutual kind of interest. So a lot of these people will get together because they both like watching these shows, they both like holidays, they like honeymoons, this, that, and the other. So therefore, they base their reaction or their attraction on these things, and then they think it's a good idea to get married because we have similar interests, forgetting that when you put kids in the mix or location in the mix and things like that, all that changes. Reality in the mix, if he gets fired, she gets fired, it changes. church doesn't always teach us about relationships, but it does talk to us about some certain aspects. So we are now looking at, from the spiritual perspective of our relations, of if me and my relationship with my missus doesn't work, there's someone I can go to, I can pray about it, and hopefully that relationship with God strengthens me good enough to be better about myself, to better my relationship with my wife. So we're always looking at it from a spiritual aspect and also that physical aspect. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, 100%, man. I'm like, yeah, no, I get. So, would you say, is it a good thing as Christians? Because we're literally doping on these love programs. I know people because I seen you guys put up on your status. No, you mad like blood. Listen, man's watching gangs in London, thing like that. Still, you know, FBI. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching pure FBI programs. You catch me, Mrs. Man. I'm just telling what FBI programs. I always watch them. You know what I mean? Working out someone's character by just looking at them. Yeah. I tell you what, he's a narcissist.
I do it all the time, you know. Yeah, we're not gonna get into that. But I watch people all the time and like,
I really watch them programs hard. I love the way. If I was in America, man, I'll be working for the FBI, man. I'll be that guy. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I go to America.
But I wouldn't be able to shoot though.
Nah, I'm not American fan.
Yeah, really cool. I'm FBI agent.
Pizza too big, man.
You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Yeah.
But I would say, what I'm saying is it. I see it according to a lot of statuses because we do go and put what we're watching on statuses. Yeah. There's a lot of Christians that enjoy doping. I would say doping on these love programs. These Love Island.
Escapism, those, isn't it?
Ooh.
It's escape. Someone said to me the other day.
Is it good escapism? Is it? You see, like this, like me going to the gym is you can escape. Yeah. Going to the gym is good escapism.
It's good mental health.
It's positive.
Yeah,
it's positive. Yeah. Smoking weed is escapism, but it's
not my escapism.
You know what I mean? But it's a form of escapism because you're escaping your problem.
Yeah.
But then you go back to your problem and it damages your body at the same time. Yeah. So it's negative. Yeah. So is us escaping our relationships or lack of relationships in its programs, is that positive or negative escapism?
Depends who you're talking to, innit? Because the person who uses the person who uses it.
Yes, bro. Yeah.
I don't think it's a yes no answer because the person that uses like cannabis to kind of escape their issues and sees the benefit of it are not going to be convinced that it's a harmful thing.
Oh, we're not convincing them. I'm asking you straight. I'm asking you straight. Is it positive in somebody who's not in a relationship?
Yeah.
To be watching these programs?
No.
As a Christian,
I don't think you should.
Ooh.
I think it's dangerous. It's damaging.
Because it gives you a warped idea about relationships.
It gives you, and as much as people think they're strong enough to like think, it's just TV, it's not real. After a while, like I said, your reality becomes real because you're informed. Because these things are helping you inform information in it. Like Love Island, for instance, is based all around attraction, and that's what it teaches you. So when you look for a relationship,
it's all about what it looks like.
It's all what it looks like. Now the problem is like, it depends on what age you're watching Love Island at. Because if you're in your 40s, mid 50s, you ain't gonna get no. Then again, saying that, let me say what you're gonna say when I'm finished first, and I'll go back to my point. If you're in your 40s to 50s, it's very unlikely to find a brother similar age to you walking around with that type of body of a 21-year-old. However, statistically, I'm going there again. There's now a lot more women, particularly in the UK, that are going for younger men. So ladies in their 40s and 50s are now kind of looking at 30s. There was one I was reading the other day, a lady in her 52 who's going out with a 23-year-old. And that was sparking debate because people are like, well, how young is too young? Like, she could technically be his mum.
But if it's the other way around, man be going, yo, man.
But guys are doing it as well. But guys have always been doing. Guys have always been going with younger girls.
You know, let's not hide it back. You know, we got grandparents from the Caribbean, man. They got 18 years, 15 years in between them still, yeah. And that was usually the man older. No, all the time it was man older.
Man always older.
You know what I'm saying? And it's 15. And then when they come over here, they got tree picking in Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And when they settle down and they bring their young wife over here to the UK. Yeah, I said it publicly.
Yeah, man. Seeing there. And you find out the funeral. But I think there's always been that kind of relationship issue there where, you know, people don't know where they're at. So older women going out with younger men. And like I said, like for years, I've always seen, anyway, older men going out with younger girls. And we haven't really batted the eyelid because it's kind of like, it's become normal. Like, look at Hugh Hefner. You know what I mean? Hugh Hefner was going out with his model's kids practically. And we never thought nothing of that. We just thought, it's Playboy, it is what it is. But had Hugh Hefner been a woman going out with them kind of things, we'd be looking at it a little bit different, like, that's kind of wrong still. But that's a different podcast show. But my point I was trying to make in regards to relationships is, if you're watching shows like that, then you're being informed around it. So, for instance, a massive danger as well, like Facebook, which is classed for older people now. If you ever, and I'm not encouraging you to do this, but if you ever was to go on there now, there's things like the 40s club, there's this club, there's that club for people of what you would think is a mature age. If you listen to the content of what they're talking about in some of these things, you're thinking, Lord, you haven't matured then? Because some of these conversations, maybe I'm just a bit too churchy, but there's stuff in there where you're like, okay, cool, you're not going to get a great husband, or you're not going to get a great wife if that's the mindset of it. So, like, for instance, there's one church one that I saw where the guy must have said, my expectation of my wife is for her to be as freaky with me in my marriage as she would have been when she was out in the world. So he's basically saying, like, my wife needs to be a freak sexually, and that's going to be a great marriage. But that's all. But if you read into stuff like that, then you're going to be like, yeah, man, I want a wife that's going to be freaky, or I want a husband that's going to be doing all these kind of things. And so therefore you're basing your relationship hope on these kind of things. I think it's dangerous.
And you got to be thinking about, bro, is this a generation that's been demented by porn?
That's the silent kid. But you know what? We're not talking enough about it.
Oh, bro. Like, so, guys, no. We're just throwing up subjects for us to talk about.
Go back to the show that I did with Justin Marsh.
Yeah.
It's an amazing show where we talked all on porn. Because church don't talk about it. In fact, it's come out recently, even BBC, how much people are struggling with porn addiction. Like, it's big.
Wow. And I think that, again, this is another problem, especially now. The thing is, everyone look at two men talking about porn, you go, I wonder which one of them two are watch porn.
Yeah.
But the thing is, women are watching porn.
Yeah, man, both.
You know what I'm saying? So do not, like, keep on, guys, I love my sisters out there, yeah? But sometimes when you look outside the church, women are comfortable to say that they'll sit down with the partner and watch porn with the partner. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They're comfortable. But, you know, in our spaces in church, we're not comfortable to say women, it's seen as a male sin. Porn is. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not saying we all know, we all go, oh, what are you chatting rubbish? We all know, both do, but no, we don't. Yeah, it's not the general signal. When we say, oh, somebody cheated in a relationship, who do you go to first?
Yeah, it's usually the guy.
The guy? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We say usually it's the guy.
Yeah.
But it's not you. But maybe if you really got the stats out, is it usually the guy?
What, cheating? Oh, I love stats.
What are the stats, bro?
Stats on cheating.
No, is there a stat out there for that? Because I was having a debate the other day, and they were saying, it's majority of the time it's the men that cheat in the church. Man. Oh, goodness sake.
It's not so.
God, what's the stat saying? Because I really think women in our age group believe that we're the dogs. We're the dogs, man. You know what I'm saying? Yes,
you know what it is? And this is what I'd say. And this is the stat, again, go back to one of the shows that we did on relationship stuff, about cheating and stuff. So, again, this is stats that I happen to put out here for you guys to see. The problem with cheating for men is the poor addict. The rubbish addict.
Oh, goodness.
And that's the fact of one of the stats is, like, guys are really poor. Like, when you look at programs where people are getting caught cheating, 9 times out of 10 it's the guy being caught cheating because he's poor at it, like, because hormone wise they're excited about it. All one has to do is say certain things to get in that guy's head, and he is physical. Oh, let me show you a picture of what's in my trousers, or let me go and buy you flowers, let me go and do. So a lot of guys are physical in that kind of like entertaining that drama. A lot of women are very good at putting the words out there or suggestive stuff. So wearing clothing that's suggestive and kind of using phrases that the guy's like, what does she mean by that? So she's wearing a low cut top. Are you right, babes? What does she mean by babes? Like, is she on it? Does she mean, you know exactly what I mean? As a guy, it's like, yo, she's on it. Let me send the text. What are you doing? You know what I mean? So then the guy physically starts doing stuff, and then she's trying to be subtle.
I get trapped, you know.
Yeah, don't look so desperate.
Okay.
Stat wise, there's one stat that I always go by, which is more women cheat relationship wise in in relationship cheating. So that's a fact. They own that. And relationship cheating is kind of being suggestive, talking, getting that guy in a relationship mentally, but not physically doing anything by it. Yeah, so they call it relationship cheating. No, not relationship cheating. What would you rate? Oh, not relationship. What's it called again now? I better go and look for my stat. It's
cheating.
Emotionally, sorry, there we are. Emotionally cheating. So there's a lot more women
emotional fair. Emotional fair.
Okay, so there's a lot more of emotional women, emotional cheating than it is physical. Now, a lot of people would say that's not even a thing. It's a big thing. Like and again, not cussing ladies. Ladies of all different colours. Women own that because some of them are naive to it, and some of them know exactly they're doing it, but don't want to be challenged on it and be like, "No, I'm just talking to a friend." It's like, but you're not. That's actually cheating. It's a fact.
Wow.
When it comes to physical cheating, men are there more because I said the crap at it. I can't use the word crap, can I? I said it twice. They're poor at it, basically. Guys are very poor at physically cheating. So statistically, men are worse at it, but it's not a fair stat because there's a lot more women who ignite that fire. There's a lot more women that do that suggestive. So if emotional cheating is the trigger of kind of getting that relationship thing kicking, then there's only so much of a guy who can do the talking before he's like, I want to act up on it. And that's when the stats changes because there's a guy, he wants to get in there, he wants to kind of feel that, where some other women are just happy with that whole flirtatious talk, sexting, stuff like that. So they own that space.
So they just do first base.
First base, man.
First base. Well, man tried to go for the home run. You know, and missed most of the time. But when they hit, you know what I mean? They caught.
And then put pictures up that's suggestive as well. And some people are like, but that's just putting up pictures. It's like, nah, come on, man. Like, it's not. And that comes back down to the programs you're watching.
So from a relationship perspective, is emotional cheating as bad as
physically?
Yeah.
Cheating's cheating. Okay. That's how I see it. As cheating is cheating.
But you no. I don't hear you. Yeah. But I actually think maybe women are listening to this and thinking, ooh, we're not as bad as men. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? Because we don't get physical. But
it comes to that thing, innit, where like physical. Cheating is cheating, abuse is abuse. If a guy hits a woman, people are going to be outraged. That is crazy. But if a woman hits a man, are we going to be outraged and upset about it? The same scenario. We don't need to know the facts behind why they're hit or whatever. Someone physically hit another human being. It's wrong. So when we look at cheating, I get emotional cheating for a lot of people. It comes back to that conversation of escapism. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just having fun. I
just need to boost myself.
Yeah,
you know
I didn't do nothing wrong.
I'm not getting it here, so I need to get somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Because he's willing to give it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you know what? I understand it. Like when someone is talking to you and making you feel good. You feel good, especially when you're a certain age when things ain't happening and someone's like, oh, you look so amazing. Like someone one time said to me, and this is where you can fall down the rabbit hole. One lady one time was like, oh, you've been working out, your arms look really, really big. And my head went swell up like, glad you noticed. Yeah, my arms are big. And I walked away, I was in my car, and then immediately I just felt like, careful where you go with this. That's the trap. Because I could then turn to a fool like, now start wearing vests. I don't wear a vest at home, but all of a sudden I'm wearing vests when this person's around. And then you fall into that trap of, hold on, this is now falling into that game of emotional affair. And then before you know it, you're like, I don't mean nothing by it. And then I'm playing Shaggy. It wasn't me. Because I'm in the person's bedroom. Like, so it's that level of control, man. Like, it's that level of control. And I know we can joke about it, but again, and I'm glad we're talking about it because these conversations are too taboo, particularly in our church circles. And I'm not saying the expectation is for the pastors to be doing this because I think there's a lot of pastors that are struggling in this space.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Pastors and pastors' wives are struggling in this space. So no one wants to take ownership of it because everybody's going through it, but it's taboo because nobody's really talking about it, and so we fail.
I think because we give a perception of holiness from a perspective of our lives are fully holy and we're not going to get attacked. I think holiness is doing the right thing under attack, but you can face storms. But it's a case of, for me, and I hear what you're saying, is just because of pride. It's like people, you don't want to be seen as lesser than. You know what I'm saying? And somebody's, said to me the other day, we're gonna close down. I think this show was like a really cool a startup. It's got me thinking now which one's expanding because we touched on enough subjects here today.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? But like for me, it's like how did you become that person? So I'm gonna go, something that really, there's a lot of things that have happened to us in our teenager, young years, is what makes us. I don't know who use the defective. It makes us struggle in relationships. Yeah, and sometimes because of the lack of support in spaces, not just in church, in a number of spaces, people go into the relationships broken. Now, if you got somebody broken, but you would go into marriage with, or long-term covenant with, or start a relationship with, who has an element of brokenness outside of their control because of what they saw as a child, or what was around them as a child, or what happened to them as a child. Yeah, how do we operate in that sphere? You know what I'm saying? Do we operate in grace, or sorry, that's not my problem, I need to get out of here?
Steve, those.
And a lot of us have men and women, have dipped out.
Yeah.
Because of things out, and there's a lot of things, if people searching their sexuality, there's a lot of things that they're searching for, you know what I mean? But have struggled, have struggled, and we're not there for the journey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
you know what? I think what's lacking.
Sorry, why did I have to drop the right at the end for, man? You know what I'm saying?
Here's one thing that I would give.
But what I will say to people, if you want to come into the studio and have this conversation,
come down.
You know what I'm saying? Come, and I'll slip out, and you can talk to Uncle Blue about this.
That's like Uncle Blue. Maybe felt like some Uncle Bobby B. Oldness.
It's got Uncle up now,
I got it. I need to, and I got the hair gone as well. Last time I was on the show, I had hair. Now I got no hairs and grays. But one thing I would say. Any person and this is just general advice to give out to people. If you're in a relationship and you're looking at how you can sustain and make it work, first of all, fact, and I would say, I say it to my wife, I say it to everybody, is one, you have to work on yourself, and that's working on you.
Come on now.
What kind of husband do you want to be? What kind of wife do you want to be? Yeah. That conversation has to be vital of yourself first of all. I know one thing. A little bit of respect I give this person, Will Smith. Yeah, he didn't work out for him. Sorry, I'm not even laughing at that. But yeah, one thing he said, which is probably one of his demons, unfortunately, was he said, "I don't believe in divorce. Therefore, when I go into marriage, I'm not going to have it." Now that's the problem. That's his chain, because now he's in a relationship where I'm not encouraging divorce, but.
That's that's a real good point, He's actually fulfilling what.
He's fulfilling what he said?
No, but the thing is, what I said at the beginning about, is it transactional, or is it love, or whatever, and we're not doing that anymore, going to the end, even though the person.
Yeah.
Now, that has been happening behind doors. What's happening to Will has been happening behind the doors. Everybody thinks it's a new thing because it's new generation women. That's been happening let me talk to my brothers, that's been happening to us for years, for centuries, for generations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we're stuck on business. These days, kick her to the curb, move on next thing, and get on with somebody from 10 years younger, and then start a new family and get some more kids.
Yeah. It's a madness.
Sorry, I just said what we've been doing.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. But one thing he said was he's not getting divorced. Now, from my perspective, for me, I've never had that relationship conversation. He's not even Christian. But I remember saying that for me, one of the things that I value in my relationship is God first, expectations of what biblically marriage should be, and then also honor my wife, even when she's vexed me, even when we're going through things, and you're like, I am getting rid, and I'm getting myself a teamy wife. I've kept it on 100%. It's not always been easy.
Of course it's not gonna be easy.
And I've sat with my wife, had these conversations, and we've had to kind of be honest, and that's one good thing we've worked well. The other thing I say that's a big thing that not a lot of people do with investment is getting the right people around you. Yeah, so there's got to be people around you where you can talk, and those kind of people can support you in where you're at. It doesn't have to be a pastor, but I'm talking about someone who's wise, wisdom, supportive, who can agree when you need to be agreed, but hold you to account when you there's been times when I've gone to certain friends and I've said oh man, I don't think this is gonna work, blah blah, and they've brought back what I've said with but so you're gonna walk out because of this? Is that the kind of man you are? So you're giving up on your marriage because your pride, or you're giving up on marriage because this ain't happening. Like, make it make sense. What's the reason you're walking away from that you're comfortable with? Because if it's comfortable, it's right. That's cool, but why? You know what I mean? That conversation of challenging of marriage. Then people I've had have examples. So I'm not going to say their name, but I've seen some guys who held down their marriage really, really well, where their wife hasn't been in the greatest of spaces, and they've struggled with it. They're smart for it, but they've kept plowing. And I get the struggles that they've done. I'm thinking, well, my wife and my relationship's able-bodied, and I'm prepared to walk away because my pride's hurt. But yet these people are in their relationship strong. Like, salute to them for what they're doing. So it's about the village that you're in, the community that you're in, that makes your relationship work well. The other thing that I've got, and not everybody can do this, for me, works for me, doesn't work for everybody. I've got, with me and my wife, got friends, male friends, where I'm comfortable with my wife talking to these male friends who are my brothers, where she could kind of like have that conversation about me. And they can be like, nah, that's not the kind of thing you would do. Or they know me well enough to be like, okay, cool, but maybe you came from it wrong perspective, or hear what you're saying. And the reason I say this is because they're friends who I know where they're not looking for the back door to be open. And what I mean by that is you get some brothers out there who were happy to talk to your missus, but when you guys are going through it, that's the opportunity to be like, but you know, if that was me and you.
Well, man, you go out to war and you come back.
You see what I'm saying? And then make me turn into Wolverine and mash up a man. But we had to invest in those kind of friends and that community to have that. You know what I mean? Like, I understand and I value that not everybody does, but you have to start looking at making sure that your village, your relationship, yourself is strong. I mean, it might just come down to you and your missus, to be honest with you. But if you and your missus are strong enough to go through it, then you're cool. But the scary thing is some people have to go through traumatic relationships, and because that's the way they get their kicks.
Crazy.
Sorry.
Crazy, man. Listen, guys, man, I have to cool this down because, like, you know,
times are going.
Listen, man, we came to the start of this podcast going, what we're gonna talk about. We just touched on a few subjects, man. I'm like, whoa.
Gone.
Life is life, and what will we be doing, guys? You know, and I feel, you know, we hit up this is blues content. I'm just here supporting because we're just bouncing off. You know, we've got the facilities to expand the conversation. We've done it before with Blue, where people. So blue and your people, like blues people, yo, holler us, you know who you are, man. You know what I'm saying? My people, well, our people, because we circles do actually cross over. You know what I'm saying? And we're happy to have these conversations publicly, because especially I'm being biased towards men, because they keep on saying we don't talk, and we continue not talking. We're not gathering. We're not gathering for the hunt anymore. You know what I'm saying? We just there eating carrots every day. You know what I'm saying? You know, so we need to go hunting together. You know what I'm saying? As men. You know what I'm saying? So. Want to be 100% encourage that. But yeah, guys, Blue, thanks for coming through. I know man's been touring with his comedy skits, we've been singing, he's developing photography skills, but we have to big up what you're doing, bro. Especially Christian comedy. Big up to Dion. I know that we tried to. We've got him on the station with a couple of other presenters. I want to get him on, but like I know that, like, you know, when we couldn't. Get a catch up at the time when we was communicating,
but we're gonna get everybody through.
No, 100%. And like I said, bro, comedy is your passion. Yo, bro, come and, you know, bring the guys on. But I know at the same time, these comedians are laughing. The next minute, they can talk, just switch on you and talk, big man talk. You go,
man.
So that's
Bishop Shackelford coming next. Anthony King.
Sandra. Man. All these guys, man. Yo, we're happy for these conversations, man. But listen, this is myself, Roger, Mars. What they say, Mars Blue. You know what I'm saying? Because then you look, man, you gotta change your name. You're Mars Blue, man.
Mars Blue. I'm still Blue.
Master Blue.
Master Blue. I'm gonna start dyeing this now so it looks like my top. Start walking around looking like this.
It's so bad. It looked like old school ones where you almost see like yellowly black.
You know what I do? And I say it publicly, I'm upset with Roger because Roger don't get no grades, you know. You know them videos you see on YouTube where like you see someone in like 1922 and then you see them in 2024 and you're like, that's the same person. That's Roger. Yeah. Roger came over with Windrush.
Oh, bro, listen, man. It's such his life, man. Such his life, man. The Wolverine gene, you know, the one that's still there.
I see it, man.
I got the X gene, man. You know, the one that's the black X gene, man. We don't know what kind of thing.
Seems so. Black don't crap if you use cocoa butter, it stays Fresh.
Yeah, but Coco Shea, you know what I mean? All that things there still. Yeah, big up to all the moisturizers out there, man. But not Palmers, guys, not Palmers. But listen, guys, nothing but love. This is myself, Blue, here on Affinity Xtra, celebrating gospel music of black origin and talking big man talk. There, so.
Peace.
Hi, and thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, you like, and you comment, and make sure that you're sharing the videos and watching so much more. We have loads of content for you. I hope you enjoy. See you soon.